Hey, and welcome to Room and Board.
Room and board. I am Jimmy, and I am joined by. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Chalk.
I'm Casper.
On Jules.
Yeah, Casper has to whisper due to roommates being around and such.
Because she
So,
is currently locked inside of a trunk, and if she makes a single sound, then the people that are holding her for ransom will cut off her fingers.
Yeah,
yep,
we gotta avoid that.
Yep, don't want that.
we want to avoid that, but at the same time, we don't care enough to not record. So here we are. Good times. Um,
Oh
you
wait,
guys,
you know what we didn't do?
what?
We
A
didn't
lot of
prepare a
things.
single topic.
Hell yeah.
I've got topics prepared.
Ooh.
Like I literally have. Oh, fuck off! I have a topic website pulled up, or I did. I think I closed the window. I'll
Uh
just look through
oh.
my history.
Okay.
Keep the audience busy while I find it.
We have to rely on our quirkiness.
What
Oh
is
yes.
something that you are obsessed with?
Oh Lord, that is
That's a loaded
a question full of answers.
Homestuck.
Nothing?
Yeah, okay. Homestuck. We got Homestuck.
Let's
Mass
see.
Effect.
Plenty of video game series. Good God.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
We got one for Mass Effect.
That's my shit.
Well, I admit I love Mass Effect. Okay, that's fair.
I've never played a Mass Effect game because I already know what happens.
Oh
I have
no.
I've yet to play one, but I also don't know what happens. So I'll probably play one day.
No, I know what happens. That's why we don't want to play one because it's like, well, I mean,
Just
Yeah,
enjoy
you
like
already know what
99% of the experience, and then that last 1% you can just.
Just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
just pretend, just think the opposite of what's
It's
gonna
about the
happen.
journey, not the destination with Mass Effect. It feels like you're on this huge adventure. So just hold on to that part.
The characters are so great.
Yeah, I know. Who's your
Oh,
favorite party member?
Probably Garrus.
I dated him.
let's see. For me, as far as obsessions go, I'd have to say Disgaea.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
that's fair.
Disgaea, because like the amount of grinding time that I put into that game qualifies to be an obsession.
Is that a JRPG?
How much time?
Sort of, kinda. It's not your typical JRPG, really.
It's like a tactical RPG, I guess, or a strategy. I'm not sure what the difference is between strategy RPGs and tactical RPGs, but I don't know. It's like really hmm. It's
It's like Fire Emblem, but a lot less loose on the consequences, and yet still hard at the same time. Like you have to make sure you put in your levels, but it's not too heavy on grinding.
it's really like goofy and fun.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. It's got really bright colors and bright characters,
The
and
character design is just amazing.
Isn't this guy an anime? I think.
it is an anime. It was a child's anime. The first game was made into one, but unfortunately, it fell flat due to the fact that it was very Pokemon-esque, but it was not Pokemon, so nobody watched it.
Oh, weird.
And B, the target audience for this Gaia is teens and adults, not kids. So
That
like
is weird.
nobody that played the game would have enjoyed the anime.
Oh, so that's where that particular little girl that I see on ads comes from.
Possibly.
The
Okay.
one with the bat wings and
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, Etna.
That's probably Etna. Yeah,
She's
Etna
like
is a favorite character of the series, which is surprising because for me, I hated Etna for most of the first game.
she looks pretty hateable.
But
this guy
she
and
grew on
characters are
me.
like that. They're kind of obnoxious and terrible people, but they're really lovable at the same time.
I'm just so encouraged to play now.
You
Like
should.
they,
Every
If-
protagonist in the series is like evil.
except for the protagonist of two, which is hilarious. I don't want to give any spoilers, but supposedly the MC for this Gaia 2 is the only human MC in the entire series,
Oh,
and he takes pride in the fact that he's human.
He sounds like a badass. I love him already.
yeah.
He's the only character in the series that fights with his fists and not swords.
I
The only
like
main
this guy.
character. So, um, but I've only played the first two games, unfortunately. But out of the two, two still wins out, even though I have so much nostalgia for one.
Hmm.
Two is just so fucking good. Two is where the series like took its turn that led to what the rest of the series became.
Oh.
One is very different from every other game in the franchise, and two is where it went in that direction.
Oh, okay.
Because one still had a bit of a gritty art style as far as like sprites and backgrounds and whatnot went, but with two they went full anime cartoony type stuff. That is the art style you see today. And even the story was a bit more gritty. I don't know about the rest of the games, but like in comparison to two, the story in one is much more. I would say dark, but not as funny as two. Like there's
Hmm.
definitely a focus on comedy in one, and two. The story isn't focused on comedy, but everything in like as the story is happening is hilarious.
That reminds me of
Hmm.
the Borderlands franchise.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
I've heard a lot about Borderlands. Unfortunately, I have been a Nintendo fag for most of my life, so I
Oh.
haven't played many non-Nintendo games.
Borderlands is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Um,
The I grew up on Xbox, or well, grew up. I got one when I was like 11, so
mhm.
I've mostly lived on 360 games, which is I know a lot about shooters and FPSs and third-person shooters. If it has a gun, I've probably played it.
Similar.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I grew up watching my dad play JRPGs like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, and then those are the games I started out on. My first game ever was Pokemon. Ironically, I knew someone that thought it was a demon game or whatever, or game about demons, because of that one weird sermon that became a meme. The one where the pastor was like, "Why,
Why did
why,
that happen?
why?" That one.
It was such a weird scene.
There was a woman that like actually believed all that shit he said and made her son give away her video games. And he was not the one that gave me video games. I got my video games, my first ever video games, from the son of the pastor of my church because he was moving somewhere and he didn't have space to take it, or he had just gotten like upgraded games and he wanted to pass on the fun.
So
I'm
you
not
got
sure
the
what the exact
hand-me-downs.
story was, but I got a purple Game Boy Color from him, Pokemon Blue,
Hmm.
Donkey Kong Country, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Castlevania for the Game Boy. And
Oh.
God, did that make me hate Castlevania because that game was
I love
garbage,
being up.
especially
Castlevania
in
is
the hands
amazing.
of like a 5-year-old, which is how old I was because I couldn't read when I first got my games.
Oh yeah, I was crap at games when I was like that age.
I would make my mother read me every line of dialogue in Pokemon, and I forced myself to learn to read early, specifically so I could play those games. Because my mom got so tired of me asking her what things said that she said, if you can't play it without asking me questions, you don't need to play it. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta learn to read.
Oh yeah, actually, I I learned to read very quickly compared to everyone else like that I knew, like all of my peers, because of
Mm-hmm.
video games. I would just
Yeah, yeah,
play
yeah.
like RPGs and stuff like that. So I was way more verbose than like other kids my age.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
Leave her
learned
both
how to
for one thing.
read when I was 6
Hmm.
because I was homeschooled. So my mom, for 8 hours a day, forced me to read, and I hated it.
Oh man,
And then I learned how to read, and I've been cursed with that ability ever since.
it really is a
That's
blessing and a curse.
I don't know.
that is wild.
I think it was 5.
Hmm.
Um,
My aunt was a teacher.
Right.
When I lived in Texas,
Hmm.
this,
Fuck Texas.
yeah, well, Corpus Christi is a place that exists on a map. But anyway, so I lived in like this inner city school in Corpus Christi, so you'd have a lot of like the hard kids that lived there, like the wannabe cholos and gangsters and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there was this one kid in my classroom. I forget what his name was, but he's this like big 6 foot tall dude built like a mountain. And he'd always try to like start shit with the students in the class.
Mm.
But it was really funny because anytime he'd try, our teacher would bring in our truancy officer, who was his aunt.
That's too good.
So he'd get chewed out by his aunt every time he tried to start shit. It was hilarious.
I just have this image of like a 6 foot second grader now.
Wow.
Just-
Oh no, it wasn't in second grade. It was in it was in like high school or something.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
That's my fantasy.
Let's see. I was like, even after I learned to read, like I got really into reading books at an early age. I started reading like Harry Potter in the first fucking grade just because I was like so into reading.
Oh, yeah.
And none of my teachers believed that I was actually reading Harry Potter, and I didn't realize this was the case until years later. But because of that, they would they had me start writing summaries of each chapter I read.
Mm.
Oh, no.
And you know, for each summary I wrote for each chapter, I got like a free doohickey from the principal of the school.
Oh.
Speaking of the principal of the school, his name was Mr. Gay, and the secretary was Miss Ghetto.
Oh.
I think
In
you
high
went to
school,
the
I had a
perfect school.
teacher named Mr. Bader. He said, "Don't call me master."
But let's see. Yeah, so I would go to the principal and I would get like pencil toppers and erasers and stuff like that for each chapter I read. Like I got so advanced in my classes that like I was supposed to go into second grade one year and we were at enrollment, and he accidentally wrote me down in a third grade class. And then my mom was like, "Oh, hey, I think you put him down in the wrong class." He was like, "Oh, would you look at that? I did. Hey, Sean, you want to go to third grade instead?" It was hilarious.
Got to skip a grade in grade school.
Actually, I didn't because I decided not to because all my friends. I was like, no, I want to hang out with my friends. So no, thank you.
This isn't
mean-
anime.
Obnoxious kid.
Look, I didn't do it for Nakama power. I did it because I liked hanging out with them and doing shit. Because I would always finish my stuff early, so I get to hang out with my friends early.
I probably could have skipped a grade if I really needed to.
I think most kids can skip a grade if they like
I mean,
apply
that would-
themselves.
Yeah, but why?
I
Yeah.
was a stupid kid.
No one wants to because their friends are in their old class.
Exactly.
I was genuinely a stupid kid though.
Oh, man.
And now look at us. The tides have turned. You're the one who's made it in life, and I'm a high school dropout.
I dropped out too, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm still fresh on that.
You'll get there.
You're still
I'll get somewhere eventually, even if somewhere is a Goodyear factory. That's still good money.
Yeah.
Hey man, I used to work in a factory. I mean, you know, then they
I
got
didn't.
rid of me, but you know.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was too much of a vagabond.
Oh
Ha,
yeah,
ha,
always
ha,
coming
ha.
and going.
They needed someone that could stay around longer.
Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I used to like. Okay, so this is still first grade because my second grade teacher hated me. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my second grade teacher actually hated me, but my first grade teacher loved me. Like other than my second grade teacher, I was always a teacher's pet. I would like work ahead in the math book. I completed both semesters worth of math books in the first semester, and so anytime we were doing math, I got to do whatever the fuck I wanted. I could draw on the whiteboard. I could play with the toys in the room. I could take a nap. I was so damn
You
happy.
could take a nap.
I mean, I didn't want to then, but now that would be like a dream come true. Naps are so good.
We need to bring back nap. For real. I need like naps during uni
Yeah.
all the time.
I need naps at work.
I used
like-
to have to wait.
Naps at work wouldn't work for me.
Uh oh.
Just
Probably
sleeping on
yelling at
stage.
what's her face again?
The kids.
Yeah. I wish I could yell at the kids. I wonder if they can hear me.
I don't know, maybe. Oh, yeah, probably. Unless he's got headphones on.
Ah, dang it, you're right. He probably has it.
Just Jules yelling at somebody else's kid.
Hell yeah, that's
What?
the life right there.
Yeah. Just be a child trainer for other people.
I can't wait to be an old man and yell at people on my lawn.
It's
I-
your
What?
it's your
That's gonna be
calling.
exciting. Hell yeah. I'm not allowed to have fun. Not on my property.
I do that anyway, to be honest. Just kids walking down the street. I just yell at them sometimes. Like getting on my nerves and being obnoxious.
Why are your shoes untied, you dumb kid?
Be
I was
gone,
actually something I
children.
had trouble learning.
What?
What?
I had trouble learning to tie shoes when I was little.
I did too. I couldn't. I could do it when I wasn't wearing them, but when I was wearing them, it like flipped the perspective, and it just bamboozled me. I could not understand what was happening.
You
I
know,
taught myself.
that's one of the things I can't say I ever struggled with.
To
I
this
struggled
day, I
with
still
learning
don't tie my
string.
shoes the right way.
Actually, I think the reason that I had so much trouble with it is because I was too lazy to learn it. Like, I was like, if strap-on shoes work, why would I tie my shoes? I'm pretty sure that was my mindset at the time.
Oh yeah,
I was just never taught.
I was
So
too
I have
retarded to
to
comprehend
say,
how to tie shoes that I was wearing, so I just stuck to strap-ons if I could.
What is this
glad I
arcane
can
device
swear for it.
upon my feet?
I know I could do it if I wasn't wearing the shoe.
Yellow Wyvern Slayer.
Do we want to pull up another topic? I got one pulled up.
That's fine.
Go for it.
All right.
Got a
What is
lot
a
of
quality
miles
you guys
together.
value most in your friends?
What's something I value? Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's a tough question.
Shit.
Probably a sense of humor.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, sense of humor is pretty important.
Like,
Wait.
I don't think I've ever been friends. I don't think I've ever met somebody who's been friends with someone and he's like, yeah, I like that guy, but fuck his sense of humor.
That's
Dare he
fair.
laugh?
That's fair. Most people aren't like that, but I know like 3 who are like that.
It's so sad.
Oh,
I do not know a lot of good people. I mean, I know a lot of good people, but I also know a lot of not very cool people.
me too.
I know. I think that what I value most is probably self-awareness.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
something invaluable. What the hell is going on outside my house?
I was a lot happier of a person when I didn't have that, but I think me having it now is a lot better for my friends. I was not self-aware at all in middle school, and like
Oh, no one
Um,
is. That's the fun.
my last year of middle school, I became pretty self-aware the first 2 years, but I was in a different school. So like I would think back on the first 2 years of middle school in my different school, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm not in that school anymore, just because of how embarrassed I was.
I had such a hard time in high school because I was painfully self-aware of like the bullshit,
Yeah,
And
you're too woke for it.
I
Too
came,
thin and woke for this high school.
I came across as pretentious. So afraid.
I swear to God, I was the most narcissistic and pretentious prick that did not have any friends. I mean, I guess that's how it usually goes in high school. For the last 2 years, the first 2 years was all right. I was your typical weeb in a high school setting,
I can see that.
trying to make as many friends as possible.
I never actually got into like anime until like I'd say about my freshman year because fun fact, inner city kids
Mhm.
love anime.
Oh,
They love
Damn.
it.
That's
That's
pretty
so
interesting.
I grew up in I actually grew up in Harlem, New York.
Wow.
I watched anime.
Damn.
cool.
They can't get enough of that garbage. Rural areas,
100% accurate.
I am from
Um,
a rural area, and I can count like anime fans that I've met on like one hand. I didn't know what anime was until like 2013.
See, my dad was an anime fan, and so like I was raised on anime, but it was all trash anime because like his favorite show was Dragon Ball Z.
That's so cute though.
the numbers.
The
So I like
numbers
grew up on,
Goku.
I like grew up on Dragon Ball, and then as I got a bit older, he let me watch Dragon Ball Z, and then
Oh yeah, can't have the youngins associated with Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
I
I can beat this.
it was
My
more so my mom who was like concerned about me watching Dragon Ball Z. My dad would put me in front of that shit as soon as he could.
Not laser beams.
my mom was extremely
Not
religious.
numbers.
So
Not
like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You
Okay.
can get
No,
your
it's fine. My mom was extremely religious when I was growing up, and she saw Japanese or anything similar to Japanese animation as evil because of the Pokemon thing.
Oh my
So
god, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to look at Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or anything similar because she said it
Oh
was
my
the
god.
devil. I was only allowed
Oh
to
my
watch
god.
Sailor Moon because my sister did.
Actually, now that I'm remembering it, Illogical told me, Logical, who would be a member of the podcast normally, she was busy tonight.
Right.
Illogical once told me, like, about a year ago, that she's not allowed to play Pokemon for that exact reason because her mom's religious and thinks it's like demonic bullshit.
On one of my birthdays, my grandma sent me Pikachu slippers that were like expensive. They're really nice. And
Hmm.
my mom burned them in front of me with fire.
Oh my fucking god!
She burned them to ashes right in front of me on my
Like,
birthday.
all it would take is like one of them playing one of the games, and the sheer like amount of like knocking the power bullshit in the games would like obviously relay that it was not a demonic game.
I
But of
know.
course,
It's
if you
so
assume a game is
harmless.
demonic, you're not going to play it.
So I didn't actually get to play or watch Pokemon at all until like I don't know what year it was, but Soul Silver came out. That was the first one I ever got to play. I was like, whoa.
I sat and I beat Soul Silver in one day and night because I was like so into it. Because like
That's crazy.
Silver was my second game. I played Pokemon Blue, and then I got Silver from my uncle because I was like, man, I really want to get a Game Boy Advance. Everyone else has one because my family was poor and didn't really care too much to upgrade the video games, which I didn't mind at the time. Like when you're a kid, you can play the same video game over and over and over again and not care.
Yes.
Mhm.
But the only reason I wanted new stuff was because all my other friends had new stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to play the newer Pokemon games. And so, like, my uncle gave me his Game Boy Advance that he had used in high school, and he like gave me his Game Boy Advance. He gave me like Legacy of Goku, which I was super into. He gave me a Dragon Ball Z trading card game for Game Boy Advance, and then he gave me Pokemon Gold and Silver. And I
Nice.
wish I had kept those because those go for a really high price right now.
Oh yeah. That's one thing I wish I could have gotten into Pokemon about. I always wonder if I would have like if I would have started younger, if I would have like really good merchandise to sell.
You wouldn't like
Those Pikachu slipper ashes could have been like thousands of dollars.
fucking. Let me tell you what I had Pokemon Blue, and you want to know what I did? I fucking threw it away in the trash can because it stopped saving.
Oh no.
Wait,
Like,
worth money?
because like those old cartridges, they have like a battery in them that is what allows you to save.
Oh yeah,
And
the
so-
cartridge saving.
Has
And
Wait,
by the way, that was the only time I was ever superstitious about anything. But continuing my story, I threw the game away because it stopped saving because the battery in it died.
Hmm.
But as for the superstition thing, like only time I've ever been superstitious that I can recall is I had this superstition about my game being able to save and its relationship to the batteries I put into the Game Boy. I was
Oh.
always under the impression that if I like my Game Boy died and I changed the batteries, that the save file would be either corrupted or gone.
Oh, okay.
I never saw any evidence to the contrary, but I'm pretty sure it didn't actually work that way. I don't know, maybe it did.
Maybe.
So, growing up,
I have never watched Pokemon, nor played Pokemon, nor acquired any collectible card games
Oh.
because, and the reason why I actually never was a part of a lot of the stuff that a lot of, I don't know, I guess my peers would have been involved with was because I lived in the Caribbean for about 3 years,
Oh, okay.
from
really?
about the ages of 5 to 8 years old, which was kind of I assume at any rate, the formative years for a young burgeoning nerd.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Those are the years where you're like trying to figure out what you're into.
And your middle school years are when you drive those interests into the ground and find new
Hmm.
ones because your old ones.
Yeah.
But
Um,
so anyway, I never was involved in Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon, and the first time I ever saw Naruto on television, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever.
me too. Me too. I watched it.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty dumb actually.
I do
I've
too, but
only
that's
seen
just
the
because
first episode, and that was because I randomly watched it a few years ago. I was like, "What is Naruto about?" So, oh, that was all right, but I don't want to watch hundreds of episodes.
I read somewhere that like the main reason that those are like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and Bleach are also like bad is
Hmm.
because of their power scaling issues, and that is directly related to the fact that they have to be like released weekly or monthly.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Way
they're
that
like
thing is published, and light novels are very serialized in Japan, and that's how they publish.
mhm.
oh okay.
That's why a lot of
But these
stories
are
are
like
very long.
these were like the biggest three that like, and One Piece too. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Right.
But
I don't think
those
Naruto has
are,
power
you
scaling.
know, the reason those are so bad is just a matter of what the authors had to do in order to succeed as mangakas. They had to release like weekly stuff, so they had to like make sure that they never reached like actual definitive ceiling in the show. And like Hunter x Hunter, the anime, did it right because they used the chairman of the Hunter board as like the peak of what strength could be achieved.
Hmm.
But the manga has the same problem because you know, eventually they open up. I don't remember what it's called exactly, but there's like this dark world, which is like this world outside of Earth itself that they have to go explore, and it's
That
full
sounds
of beings that are
radical.
as strong as the Chimera Ant King or stronger. Um, so like, I haven't read much of the manga, and I could be totally off base with this, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna have the same power scaling issues. Which honestly, the writing in that show is good enough for me to write that off. Um, it's not the case. I haven't read the manga for any of the other stories like One Piece, Bleach, or Dragon Ball Z, but like I would imagine that they all have the same scaling issues, but aren't as good in writing as Hunter x Hunter is.
I've never seen Hunter. Is it Hunter Hunter or Hunter X Hunter?
I've always called it Hunter x Hunter, but
Hmm.
it could just be Hunter x Hunter.
I would like to watch Hunter x Hunter, but the character designs look so stupid.
They kind of do.
Agreed.
I love it. It's probably because it was supposed to be very cartoony to like appeal to the kids.
But like, it's the Madoka Magico, it's the magical girl Madoka of shonen series, isn't it?
Oh really?
I would say
Kind of, sorta. It's not. It doesn't really go dark like that one does, but it is the one that like really blossoms into a really good show. And actually, now that I think about it, a lot of it is dark, especially the any of the Karapika arcs are really dark.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, Sasuke from Naruto is based on Karapika. From like again, internet information can be totally off base, and that's where I got this info. But I heard somewhere that Sasuke was based on Karapika because the author really likes that character
Oh
from
okay.
Hunter x Hunter.
Chalk. It's Karapika. Karapika.
I will call it whatever I damn well please.
Pico de Gallo.
I will start calling him Crap Peak.
Call him Loco.
No, maybe it's because I'm a girl, but I never really liked shonen. Like growing up, it was just it always felt.
I don't get it. How does that correlate?
Aside from like Dragon Ball Z, like growing up, I was never a fan of the shonen series. Like I hated Naruto with a passion. I don't know if it was just because of my hipster nature. Anything popular must die. But like I just could not get into Naruto
I just didn't
whatsoever.
get it.
But even now, like Boku no Hero, I'm not a big fan. I like it kind of, but like even now, even that, and that's a pretty good
Get
show.
out. If you don't praise it 100%, get out.
I'm so sorry.
You're banned from the podcast.
Yeah, you're not allowed here anymore. How dare you go against popular opinion?
No
Boku
hipsters
no
allowed.
Hero is one of those shows that I was one of the first people to be into before I got really popular as a shonen, so I didn't have a
Oh yeah,
problem
yeah.
with
I'm sure you
being
were.
into
I
Yeah,
it.
just
sure.
said
Yeah,
no
right.
hipsters.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry, but I've been a
First
hipster
one.
since
Sure.
you've known me, so
I
Yeah,
thought when I
one.
All right, so how I discovered Hero Academia was my buddy Wyvern Slayer. He said, "Hey, Jules, there's this really cool anime called Hero Academia," and we actually watched it with our good friend Scotty. Um, we don't talk about him. Basically,
Is he
I saw
Python?
I saw the first season of Hero Academia. I thought it was stupid. I didn't like it.
season one was arguably easily the worst, like
I
of
did
all
not
three
like
seasons.
Midoriya. I thought he was annoying. How he
Mhm.
kept crying all the time and
Right.
did basically nothing for the entire first season. But when season 2 came around, the only reason I kept watching was because I wanted to see All Might do really cool stuff.
That's fair.
I guess you got that in season 3, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I got lots of All Might in season 2, and I actually ended up liking the main character in season 2. So
There you
Oh,
go.
that's good.
Progression.
That's
Guess I also started watching the show because of Wyvern Slayer. He was like, "Hey,
Interesting.
there's this superhero anime. It's really good." And I was like, "All right."
about superheroes, it's called One Punch Man.
I
One Punch
I
Man
put
on
off
Broadway.
Hero Academia because I thought it was just cashing in on One Punch Man's popularity.
You son of a bitch!
I didn't
told
know
you to
anything
watch it.
about it. It was just
Okay, One Punch
superheroes.
Man and Hero Academia are cashing in on Marvel's popularity. That's what's going on.
Well, that's fair, honestly.
Oversaturated though, so
I doubt it. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know how much. I have no idea how much Japan is interested in American film, especially the Marvel films.
well. I know.
What I am saying is that Hero Academia and One Punch Man probably would have been, big in Japan regardless. But I think they got big over here in America because of the United States superhero scene. Because there's a lot of stuff that comes out each year that just goes completely under the radar.
That is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely makes sense to me.
In Japan, Marvel's pretty large. At least when I went, it's pretty. It's like pretty well established. Not as big as a deal here. Transformers is a bigger deal in like China and in Japan. But
Well, yeah, that's fair
Well,
because
going to
they
China.
like their mechs.
I like my mechs.
Mecha, awesome.
Mecha.
I have yet to get into a mecha anime.
Oh, try
Gurren Lagann.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say try Gundam, but Gurren Lagann is. I've only seen one episode, but yeah, watch Gurren
I
Lagann.
did like Gurren Lagann. I did like that one quite a bit.
Okay,
I really,
now try
really like it.
Evangelion.
Oh yeah,
That's not-
Evangelion.
a little bit subversive though. That's not a.
It has mechs.
It's basic.
It's kind of like Hot Fuzz is for cop movies, like buddy cop movies. It's both a good example of what the genre is and also a really good parody of it and a subversion of it.
Well, it's not really a parody; it's a deconstruction.
I mean, I don't
It's
mean
an
parody.
actual-
I mean like subversion and deconstruction. Yeah.
I'd actually say it's not a deconstruction, and here's why. It serves. It uses a lot of the tropes, and that's okay. But it doesn't go the opposite direction. It just subverts
Yeah.
them, which is okay. A good example of what a deconstruction would really be is the Watchmen comic book. If anybody's like ever read it, that's a actual.
I know one person who's read it, and he really wanted me to read it, so I'll give it a read
I would
sometime.
like to
Really
read
good.
it.
And
I
that's
know
really
of
a
it.
deconstruction because it takes all of like the established tropes and takes them to their opposite extreme. Like they have the Batman archetype, except he's completely off of out of his mind, like genuinely. Or they have the Superman archetype, but they make the argument that anybody who has that kind of power would become sort of detached from their own humanity. And all the characters in that story, none of them are super in the end. Like none of them can save the day, in a casual sense. I don't want to spoil, but none of them really save the day. And that's kind of the point. You know what I mean? Like Nick takes the superheroes and tears them down, and that's why it's deconstruction.
Yeah, it
As
actually
an
sounds really good. Damn.
as an aside, I would like to say, oh shoot, hang on, let me adjust my mic. I would like to say that my favorite interpretation of Batman isn't that he's a hero for justice. It's that he's a crazy person whose fixation happens to be on bringing people to justice.
Right.
And my favorite
Mhm.
Then that's basically what the Watchman is. What one of the characters is. They take that to that extreme. That's
yeah, and
exactly.
I love that. My favorite execution of that idea is in, I think it was in the Brave and the Bold Batman series. I
Mhm.
forget what it was, but basically, Batman. Okay, so through the episode, um, someone was talking about how, okay, so basically Batman heard a voice inside of his head, and the voice kept on saying Bruce Wayne. However, Batman knew that whatever that voice was, it wasn't his own subconscious talking to him. He wasn't schizophrenic because he refers to himself as Batman because his identity is Batman and Bruce Wayne is a secret identity, or rather just a cover for Batman.
Hmm.
Because like Bruce
That's
Wayne
actually
isn't
really
who he
interesting.
is.
That's really.
Yeah,
I think there's a comic that kind of explores that idea. It came after the Killing Joke. After that one was published, I can't remember what it is, but that's kind of where it originated around that time period, like after late '80s.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I
Um, yeah, my I mean honestly, like you can't legitimately like if you were to create a character like Superman, there is no way in hell that like if it were a real person that they would not become detached due to their power.
That's exactly what it's about. They take it in that extreme in The Watchmen, and it's terrifying and amazing. Just read it. Don't watch the movie.
Don't
I,
watch the
I
movie.
plan to read it definitely
Oh
now that you've
yeah,
told
I've read
me
it. It was
so.
really great.
It's actually one of the best-selling comic books of all time. It's a New York Times bestseller, international bestseller as well. It's really good. Just,
Damn.
just do it.
Um,
I don't believe you.
oh, speaking of comics and stuff, what about books? What are your guys? What are some of your guys' favorite books?
That's
Around the world in 80 days.
Can Homestuck count?
No, because Homestuck is more of a
That is
webtoon.
a multimedia.
we can for
I
the
would call
purposes of
Mesh.
Homestuck a
this. It might
webtoon.
count. It can count for this podcast. It can count.
Well, the question was book,
Well,
Like
I mean, it has like
specific.
what is it?
because like
It has
webtoon
like
is an
800,000
entirely
words.
own.
It's based off of a book by James Joyce, Ulysses.
I
Yeah.
just feel like
That-
there's maybe something potentially bound in paper, with pages that you could physically flip through.
just shh with your common sense. Shh.
Okay, for the sake of discussion, aside from Homestuck, we won't say whether it does or does not count. What would your favorite book be, Jimmy?
Uh, probably. Oh, I'm bad at picking favorites.
I'll go last. I'll go last, chalk for obvious reasons, because you can see my.
By the way, you can say either book or book series because
Right.
I have
Yeah,
two
that
favorite
works.
book series, and there's no way in hell I could pick a favorite.
50 Shades of Grey, best book series.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope you're being sarcastic.
That
Oh, I'm being
Is it-
very sarcastic. It's ironically hilarious.
Like, I mean, I could understand if it was your favorite for the ironic humor in it. I guess I could understand
Definitely.
that.
have y'all seen the video on YouTube? It came out like, oh Jesus, it would have been like 6 years ago. But it was the voice of Duke Nukem reads 50.
I remember.
Oh,
have-
what? I
I've
need
definitely
that.
heard of it at the least.
I remember.
Oh my god, how did I not know about that?
I've definitely at least heard of it if I haven't actually watched it. It was hilarious.
I forgot kinematic equations from high school, but fortunately my brain was able to remember 50 Shades of Grey.
Fuck, I can't remember things I learned from last semester.
Memes are a lot more useful than practical information, okay?
Don't let your.
I mean,
memes
they
be
work for your
dreams.
social life.
I feel so bad
In
for being
human
a
nature,
idiot.
social life is more important than being able to know what a plus b times the x of fucking bullshit is.
Is it bad that I remember that then? Am I wasting life?
There I mean, everybody's gonna remember some random ass math equation like A equals mx plus b or some shit. But,
Equal C.
you know, those are very basic equations, and those will never be relevant to your life unless
yeah.
you're
Probably.
an engineer or mathematician.
Which is why I have a lot of beef with the high school system. But I mean, at the same time, I still to this day do not. Well, aside from like last year, I had no idea what I wanted. Until last year, I had no idea in hell what I wanted to do for my life. So
Hmm.
it's hard to argue my points on high school. Anyways, it's probably best we don't get into that.
Casper, were you gonna say something?
Yeah.
Casper.
Oh,
Casper
me?
Mattress.
Oh.
Yeah, were you gonna
Yeah,
say something?
remember?
Oh yeah, favorite books.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a thing we were talking about at some point.
I
I
do a
think she
lot of.
said she wanted to go last.
Yeah,
Well, you're definitely last now.
Well, Jules, what would you say is your favorite book?
Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh yeah, that's right. You answered first.
Yep.
Well, for me, I have two favorite book series. I know I'm the one that asked the question, and I'm altering it already, but I could not
Monster.
pick a favorite from this series, from either series. The King Killer Chronicles and the the Wheel of Time series. The Eye of the World is the first book in that series.
I've read them.
I've heard those are
Um,
good.
The Wheel of Time series is my absolute favorite fantasy novel series. Like, there's so much that goes into it that makes it my favorite. There's like, it starts out with like a cast of like 5 villagers or whatever, and it like character development is so gradual in the series because there's 13 books and each one is fucking big as hell. But like, there's so much character development in it that like it seemed normal as I was reading it. But if after I finished reading the last book and went to reread the first book, I did not recognize any of the characters. They were all different people. Like,
That's
it was
cool.
crazy. That's one of the biggest things for me from that series that I really liked. And there's also just like so much like lore and world building in that series that just made it so damn amazing. And then as for the King Killer Chronicles, it's where I got my first ever username that I used online, or at least one that I stuck with for a while. I went by, well, technically it's pronounced Quoth the Bloodless, but I always pronounce it Kvoth in my head because it's spelled Kvothe.
Hmm.
But in the first book, he says that it's pronounced Quoth. But god damn, is that a epic of one character's journey from orphan of a troupe, a traveling comedic troupe or whatever of performers, and from his journey from the orphaned kid to an actual legend that people aren't sure if he's real or not. Like, you know how in like a lot of like fantasy stories, there's always legends about this one character and how he made these amazing feats, and that it's like this
Like
story that you
Dark
tell while you're
Souls.
drinking and stuff. Yeah.
Artorias.
He is one of those legends, and like the first book like introduces him. Actually, the true main character of the series is a scribe named Chronicler, or at least that's a pseudonym that he's picked up because he's become this like famous scribe. But for some reason or another, I don't remember if it's ever revealed or if it's still like remains a mystery. He stumbles into this town one day, and is well, he's outside of a town, and he's saved by an innkeeper because there's like some weird monsters that show up that he had no idea even existed, and this innkeeper saves him. And this innkeeper goes by the name Coat. He is this young-looking, red-haired, green-eyed innkeeper that like showed up in this town a few years ago and has just been, living as an innkeeper in this town. nobody knows where he came from. Nobody cares. As far as they care, he's a kind person, a helpful person, et cetera, et cetera. And he gives them drinks, and they get to drink and forget their foes.
I mean, that's
And there's
really all
like
you need in life.
there's so much world building in it. Like there's like pages upon pages of like talk about this world that's completely fictional, like in between this story of this guy's life, because it's chronicler was not looking for him. He was going to meet somebody, and so he has 3 days to hear this man's story, because he finds out that he's actually Quoth the Bloodless, Quoth the King Killer. He's got so many like nicknames and stuff, and from various adventures he's gone on. He was a master musician, a master of the magic arts, a master of fighting, all these different things. There is a succubus type character in the series, and he's like the only man to have ever slept with her and still come out sane, or whatever. And it's like, it's amazing to like imagine how he went from, just this normal orphan kid in the story. Like you see him grow, and he like picks up due to because of his background as an actor in his troupe. Before his entire family was slaughtered by mythic beings that everyone thinks are myths.
Does he become Robin?
Huh?
Does he become Robin after his parents get killed? Is he Robin?
No. But because of his acting background, he goes from this orphan in this like slum to learning magic at a university, and eventually, he starts to work for a king, and he just, gradually climbs his way up in the world, and it's amazing.
You know what story?
And there's only 2 books out so far, and there's so much for me to say about it, but I should probably stop because I'm starting to ramble.
I can tell.
Now,
Right.
I was going to say was, what has far better world building than it probably deserves or should ever get?
What would
What?
that be?
Bionicle.
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. Like, I have a Bionicle comic book,
Oh, it goes further than that.
and it's only like 1 volume, but like, I could tell
what's
that
it
it was
of?
going somewhere, and
What
it's
story arc is it?
I think it was like the first arc, possibly. Like it's when they all meet each other and stuff, and then at the end of the volume, they like grow into phase 2. They get all this new armor and stuff.
Yep, that's when they become the Toa Nuva, and it gets so absolutely crazy from there because it turns out that they're all living inside of a giant robot. They're all like
God!
nano
Did you
machines
just
living
spoil
within a
it?
robot. What'd you say?
Did you
Just spoil?
Well, I mean,
What was
okay.
Bionicle?
You
In order
spoiled
to figure out the
Bionicles?
story-
Series?
Spoiled
In
by
order
all.
You
In order to
monster.
figure out the story,
All
you
of the
needed
new
to have
fans
read, like,
that we could have attracted to
10
Bionicles.
plus- 10 plus years of expanded materials and comic books and just random ass books that they sold at like Scholastic book fairs, and they probably don't even print
I
anymore.
remember those.
Yeah,
Oh man, I remember Scholastic Book Fairs. Holy fuck!
but like, if I were to explain the entire Bionicle backstory, it would probably take an hour. So I'm not even gonna get started. But it's
Episode 2,
insanity.
anyone?
Like in a private call, because I'm curious. Can we do that like later?
Yeah.
I would love to, but I promised Wyvern Slay that I'd help him with.
Okay.
That's fine.
I have to finish the adventures of Dweebus Becky.
She'll be a champ.
Now, don't think you've gotten away with telling us what your favorite book is, Casper. You can either tell us a favorite book or a favorite series.
Ooh, that's hard. So, just a little preface for me publishing of a creative writing student.
For the
So
5
I
of you
read.
listening.
That's 2,
3 of which are in the chat right now. Jimmy, get out of there.
pretty much. So like, that's all.
Sorry.
So I've been trying to like limit this to things that people might think, because I'm trying to be like pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
So my most favorite thing that people might know is Jeff Vandermeer, the Southern Reach trilogy. They just came out with a movie for it called Annihilation with Natalie Portman.
Hmm.
I've never
Everybody?
heard of
Oh yeah, I remember being really interested in that, but I didn't end up seeing the film for it. How's the book?
I remember
It's a really
being
good movie too.
certain that the
A really
movie was going
good.
to be awful, but I had no idea it was based on a book.
It's actually the movie's actually quite good if you check it out. It's really experimental body horror.
Cool, cool.
Something
Ooh,
feels
I
kind of
love
like
that
really
stuff.
classic Alien.
Love body horror.
Me too.
That's pretty interesting.
And
Reminds me
in
of
it,
a different book series I read. I think it was Uglies,
Here we
Pretties,
go.
and Specials. I think were
Oh,
the 3 books in the series.
another one.
Oh yeah, I saw those books in a library, and I thought the chick on the cover was really ugly, so I was decided I'm not gonna read that. I'm gonna go read the Mortal
I
Engine.
did not like them. I thought they were terrible, so that was a good choice.
I liked them, but I like a lot of things. I don't really have very good judgment, except for anything like acting and film related. Voice acting, I have no idea if you're good or bad, unless you're really bad or you're really
Really?
good. hmm
I'm
I'm
sensitive
like
to
a very bad
acting.
judge of like what is good humor, what is like anything except acting in films, or in TV. Like I have no idea what is good and what's bad. Like I am a very like I'm into everything type of person. Like even with video games, I can enjoy some pretty bad games.
Hell yeah, Call of Duty.
I'm pretty sensitive to everything, but especially writing dialogue will get to me. Bad
Well,
dialogue, I think, will kill
Like
me.
for me,
sometimes really bad dialogue will get to me, but then I'll just be like, oh well, it's garbage. I like it anyway.
I suppose I can. I'll acknowledge. I'll like notice that it's bad, but then I'll still read it and enjoy it nonetheless, and like not care. Like
Like Ruby.
yeah, a lot like Ruby. Oh my God, was that awful?
Ruby, that's
Or at least the recent seasons really awful. There's a Facebook page I
it's all
follow. I think it's
yeah.
called Ruby Memes. I'm pretty sure it's just the name of the page.
Yeah.
But it like made a few different videos like pointing out flaws in the most recent season, and it's so damn funny. Um, but as I was saying, fuck, what was I saying?
Aha. You have been derailed.
You didn't even keep up with yourself.
Bad reading, writing. Yes, bad reading. When it comes to bad writing, like there was surprise, surprise. I was in jail for 6 months for something I did not do. I will not get into that.
Okay.
Not now, anyways. That's like private discussion.
Or a 1,000,000 subscriber special.
I mean,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Pour out,
Go for the
pour out
views.
dirty laundry.
Go for them views.
Hell yes.
We can just have like you teary-eyed in the thumbnail, just like Markiplier.
Make it as cringily like as cringy and like clickbaity as possible.
Oh yeah.
1 million subscriber special.
Hell
Full with complete with fake sobbing.
Yeah.
Really
I
bad
res-
fake sobbing because
I
I am
respect
the
the
worst
hustle.
actor you'll ever meet. Um,
I'm not a good actor. I can't hide anything at all. If I fake laugh because someone tells a crappy joke, I'll feel so bad because I know it's like a
you
0
know
out
how
of
that
10
fake
trick.
laugh is.
Yeah.
I have been accused for fake laughing at times when I was like genuinely laughing my ass off.
That's so sad.
How ridiculous my laugh.
I cannot keep secrets and I cannot fake laugh.
I will never tell
I'm
you
great at
anything.
keeping secrets.
I wish you had told me that before we had our discussion the other day, but that's all right.
I
I'm
will
great at
never
keeping
tell you
secrets. When
anything
people
again,
tell me
Jimmy,
something,
ever.
I forget.
Well, I mean, I
But,
can in text, but like in person, I
like, in
cannot keep
person?
secrets.
Okay, yeah.
If someone
I can
asks me
understand that.
anything related to the secret, I'll be like, no, and I'll just get really uncomfortable.
Related to your bad acting. Yeah.
Give
Um,
beans.
But yeah, back, as I was saying, yeah, I was in jail for 6 months, and surprise, surprise, there's not a lot to do.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, all right, just give me every horror book you have. So I would like,
Oh no.
I read so much that I started reading an entire novel a day. Like
hey, you're like that
I
one
got
guy.
to that skill level with reading.
Do you have a Lamborghini that you drive from the Hollywood Hills?
Oh yeah.
So like,
What
I
happened
started
to
with
that
Stephen
guy?
King.
Did he die?
Nothing.
Did someone steal his Lamborghini and run him over with it?
Who cares?
He was
I
advertising it
started
on
like
YouTube.
by reading every Stephen King book they had. Oh, I just realized you were talking about. Fuck's sake.
There you go. Got there eventually. That's what
um, I
What are
started by
we
reading all
talking
the Stephen
about,
King
guys?
books, and then we just from there I was like, all right, next author, give me all his books. Next author, give me all their books. And then I started reading Dracula, and then I was like, nope, fuck this. I'm done reading. And then I started playing the video games that were available, even though I hated them. Because it was all sports video games. Well, I mean, we had other games.
They had video games in jail?
Yes.
Yeah, but like it was like really outdated games that had been donated.
Like a
It was like,
a
Like,
SNES.
for the first 4
Like-
months I was there, it was like all PlayStation 2 games, but it was all like really shitty, like $8 PlayStation 2 games.
oh wow.
Like one of them was a Sega
Dude.
Genesis collection.
Did
which
they
actually there were some really good games on that
Over the
one.
Hedge, the video game.
Hmm?
Did they have Over the Hedge, the video game?
No, they did not.
Oh my god, that's a thing that exists.
If there's a
Slay,
movie, there's going to be a video game based on
Wyvern
it,
Slayer
especially if
tells
it's
me it was
released.
a really
It
good
achieves mild popularity.
I don't believe you.
If a movie achieves mild popularity, there will be a video game of it.
Oh
You
my
may
god.
not
That's how we
remember it, you may not even hear about it, but there will be a video game of it. I mean, hell, Hotel Transylvania 3 just got a video game on the Switch.
Rated
I
Amazing.
don't
It was
believe
released
you.
1 week after the movie was hit theaters. I'm almost positive.
That's impressive.
But I know that it's in the Switch library and I could buy it right now.
I'm googling
Incredible.
this. I don't.
I don't know
That
about
sounds
y'all, but I know
awesome.
what I'm doing with my week.
We need Shrek Super Slam 2.
We need
I
Shrek
never played
to
that.
go.
Instead, I played the Simpsons wrestling game for PS1, PlayStation 1. I don't know why I said PS.
There's an Evangelion video game. I played it.
There's two.
Oh
They're
really?
both bad.
One of them is really bad. The other one gives you vital details in the plot of Evangelion.
It does, but it's still bad.
Yeah.
And then there's the mecha golf game where you play as characters in mechs playing golf.
That sounds like a blast.
Wow.
Honestly, it looked really fun. I watched the Game Grumps play it, and it looked so fucking fun. Because like you can like fuck with other people as they're playing golf. Because like it's not a strokes-based golf game. It is a speed. Like the person who gets the ball in the hole first wins. But you can like get in the way of each other's balls as they're trying to like hit the ball, and you can like, oh my
I
god,
know
it's
this
so
is
fucking
I want to see that at Evo.
Tommy.
like it is a game like based on gimping your opponent.
There's nothing I love more than screwing over my friends in video games.
Yeah, it's really
I do
satisfying.
not want to play Mario Party with you then. Oh my god. Mario Party is the game to ruin friendships.
I
Oh,
can't.
man.
Growing up, I was like a team killer on team deathmatch games because it was so
Okay,
much fun.
that's where I draw the line.
I don't anymore. Maybe.
My friend once showed me it was a video clip of somebody playing Mario Party with friends on Reddit, and like it went from Waluigi having no stars in last place and somebody having like 5 stars, being 5 stars ahead of second place, and in the next turn, in one turn, Waluigi had every star from
Mario
every other
Party
player.
is the most RNG, not skill based at all bullshit whatsoever.
That's why it's
Except
so
for the
fun.
minigames.
Except for the mini games, and the mini games are only for the money. The stars are completely RNG.
And the money star,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. That's
Yeah.
the only star you're probably gonna get, unless you suck at the mini games. Like
And
I
at the
did.
same time, like there's stuff that'll gimp you of money. So like even the money star is pretty RNG.
Mario Party is such bullshit.
And that is why it is the game to end all friendships. I saw a post the other day that said that Mario Kart was 80% skill, 10% luck, and 10% bullshit. And I wholeheartedly agree after playing 200cc Mario Kart 8. Oh my God, that pisses me off so much.
Your voice got scary deep, like you're gonna kill somebody over some Mario Kart.
Mario, I get tilted very easily with games, which is why I have not made hardly any progress in Dark Souls.
we should play Triforce Heroes. You would love playing with me. I throw people off of cliffs.
Don't even like. I don't play like. I played.
You would like For Honor. You can throw people off cliffs all the time in that game. It's amazing.
I played. What's the one? Four Swords. I played Four Swords for the GameCube with my friend. He had the Game Boy Advance controller stuff, so we played it together. And oh my god, like I don't want to imagine the chaos that it would have been with actually 4 players, because it was just the 2 of us, and 90% of the gameplay was us trying to fuck each other over instead of complete the missions.
All right, so if
Like
y'all
every
want,
level, we had to like stop for a good 10. Like we would fuck around for like half an hour, and then we would have like 5 minutes at the end of the top level where you're like, all right, we got to get this shit done.
if y'all want to know a good friendship ender,
Hit us.
let me tell you. Okay, this one's gonna need a little bit of backstory. So, a few years ago, about 3 years ago, I went over to Wyvern. I'm just gonna call him. His name's Mike.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I went over to Mike's house. I spent 2 weeks there. And while at Mike's house, we had over 2 of his other friends, and they were all going to stay there for a week. And so we came up with a brilliant idea to have a video game tournament between all 4 of us, because we all had, game systems. We'd all played video games.
Right, yeah.
And some of those victories were really hard on our friendship. We did some shitty things, like Mario Party.
What did you do?
The salt in Mario Party was just unreal.
I'd love to imagine. I love to imagine that.
One victory, I was playing Titanfall, and I'm gonna be honest, I love Titanfall now, but when I first played Titanfall, I just shit all over it anytime Mike or his buddy Poncho brought it up.
Right.
And so when it came time to actually play Titanfall, I ended up winning. I ended up winning Titanfall using the shittiest weapon in the entire game, the smart pistol. And they were so mad at me.
That's so.
But that is not my favorite victory.
Oh yeah,
my
what is it?
My favorite one is, okay, so we were playing, y'all know how Pikmin 2 had an arena mode?
Yeah, the versus mode.
Yeah.
Alright, so I had only ever played Pikmin once in my life, and that was when I was 9 years old at Michael's house. So I was going to get completely trashed during this game. So what I did was I grabbed as many Pikmin as I could, and I just bum rushed them all to Mike's face as fast as I possibly could, and grabbed his marbles and brought them over to mine. And because it sent all of his Pikmin out to gather resources and stuff, I was able to bring his marbles back to my onion, and I was able to win. And I was able to win 2 matches in a row like this.
Oh no.
And I was able to piss him off so much, because the entire time I was doing it, I was yelling at him, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?"
Oh no.
That reminds me of a story.
So shitty.
I love it.
So I grew up with like 6 siblings, all brothers, all older. So
Okay.
Oh boy.
that means video games, I'm just gonna get shit on, right? They're just gonna make fun of you.
Yeah.
Like difficult. So I am a shady gamer. I do whatever it takes to win. Very recently, I was playing Soul Calibur with my roommates.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 5. And there's this character, Raphael. He's the quickest character in the game.
Oh no.
And there's this move you can just spam because it's so quick for people who don't know what they're doing.
Oh no.
You're the worst.
And I would just fight them the whole
Raphael.
time, spamming the same overhead swipe sword move because it's like he has a rapier. Just
Right.
like jab, jab until they die.
Oh.
Over and over, just ruthless. I'm a ruthless gamer. Every game I've played, I've probably done some cheating,
You would
or
like
like some
the
spamming or some awfulness.
My
I remember the
brothers
first
are
time,
like
piece of
that.
shit. I
We
was
can't
so-
play fighting games or anything competitive because they will be just the worst.
just I'm pretty good
Completely
at them, so I don't
shameless.
usually do that. But like, if I'm afraid I'm gonna lose,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
when the bullshit comes out.
me and Mike
terrible.
typically aren't very try hard when it comes to video games, but when it comes to competing against each other, we're competitive as shit. We love to do the most, not even really competitive. We just do love to do the most petty, annoying
Yeah,
things
yeah.
to each other,
Yes, that's my
just to
family.
mess with
So
each other.
hard. My brothers got so bad once. They started shaving off each other's eyebrows. They're just like, "What is this?"
Oh no.
Brothers, Izzy, he just got his eyebrows shaved in the middle of the night, both of them. And I had to film his eyebrows for him because he had a job interview the next day.
Oh my god. All
And
right,
he
I'm
went
back
to
now. I babysit full time, so I had to. One of the kids chapped himself.
Ooh,
Oh no, you
Oh.
didn't hear my Pikmin story.
thanks
Oh
for
yeah.
sharing.
Yeah, that is the fastest I've ever gotten that done.
Oh yeah, you left like 3 or 4 minutes ago. Jesus Christ. You have a superpower.
You could tell he left because it was really quiet.
Oh yeah. If I edited him talking out of the video, it would be like 2 minutes long.
Oh yeah. Just as a
Yeah, I have a habit of rambling.
No,
as
it's
an
okay. We
FYI,
need somebody to
guys,
like carry it. We need
I'm gonna
somebody to
Yeah.
have
carry
to,
it.
I'm gonna have to get going in about 15 minutes.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were you guys talking about while I was gone?
I talked
Competitive.
about my amazing, flawless,
Victory.
strategic victory in Pikmin 2 arena mode.
And I
Oh,
talked
damn.
about how I
Covered Sled.
really spam and cheat. I will spam and cheat if I'm gonna lose in any video game.
Lie, cheat, and steal to win. That's the motto of my clan in Destiny. Lie,
Wow.
cheat, and steal to win. If you
Oh my god.
if you actually hover over our clan banner, it will literally say right underneath our name, lie, cheat, and steal to win.
um, what was I gonna say? I've always been like a really wholesome player in that like I'm not real big on doing that sort of stuff, unless I'm getting like really triggered.
Right.
No, that's
I get
exactly what it
tilted.
is.
I
That's
think I
exactly what I
said
do.
this earlier, but I can go on about it a bit more. I get tilted very easily in games, and I think it's mostly because of one of my roommates here. I've spent a lot of time with him, and he enjoys tilting people, and so he's like being around him has like changed me so that I get tilted way easier than I used to.
Oh.
He is what you call a sore winner.
Right.
That's me.
What are you gonna
I got
do?
good at Mario Kart because I was pissed off of all the shit talking he used to do. Like I used to be good at like Mario Kart Double Dash. I was god tier on, but like moving into Mario Kart 8, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. And he would like brag so much about all of his wins, and so I just got so pissed off that I got good.
It is the best motivation to do better.
It really is. But like, I'm such a sore winner too. Like, I'm very good at Smash Brothers. Like, that's probably the best fighting game I'm good at, Smash. And so, if I really want to be a jackass, I'll just choose Meta Knight.
Oh, you. Mm,
You're one of those people.
I'm good at it already. I don't need to. Like, why it's so bad? I usually
That
pick
was
Bayonetta,
weird.
but sometimes I'll just pick
Oh,
Meta
good
Knight.
lord.
Just to make it
We
useful.
straight up just banned Meta Knight from the roster in our video game competition. He just wasn't allowed.
My main has always been Link, and it was initially because I was huge Legend of Zelda nerd. Like I played him so much that I like know him inside and out on everything almost. On Brawl and on Smash 4.
I like Lucario because he looks cool.
I always played Link. Just I knew him inside and out, and I really like Legend of Zelda. I eventually picked up Pac-Man because I wanted a gimmicky character that I could be a real asshole on.
Mm.
And so
I'm so glad for that.
I have a catchphrase called "Hail Hydrant"
Why?
because my favorite way to like piss my friends off is like I'll stand up because normally it would be like a three-player free for all because it was me, my friend Jason, and we would, fucking. Jason almost always went Captain Falcon or Corrin, and oh my god, is he a scary Corrin main? He's never played a Fire Emblem game though.
Oh wow.
I mean, why would you? Smash Bros is better. Everyone knows that.
No,
Yeah.
I
It's
just
a good
go
thing
with
Illogical's
Bayonetta.
not here.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's saying that to a person that has Robin as his avatar, but Cole would do any character, but he often went back to Pit because he was, for at least for my memories, he did because he was trying to, just master Pit just for the sake of mastering another character.
Right.
And then I would go either Link if I was being serious, or Pac-Man if I was tired of getting tilted and I just wanted to troll them. And so like they would go at it, or I would avoid being involved, and then I would just gimp them from the side or come in and steal a kill.
Oh,
so-
you
like,
monster.
I would
Yes,
throw down a hydrant and then smash it towards them. Hydrants are more dangerous when smashed towards someone than being dropped on someone's head, unless you're trying to like, I forget what the word's called, but if you're trying to knock them down as they're trying to recover.
I'm guessing that you also like ledge guarded and stuff like that.
No, I've always been a really shitty ledge guard,
Really?
so I tend to avoid ledges.
Really?
Yeah, I like
Avoid 'em
stay on the
entirely.
side and like try
Oh,
to get
man.
them far away.
Don't play against me.
So,
I feel so bad.
I want to fight all of you, and I'll play as Jigglypuff.
Oh my god, fuck
I'm
you.
gonna lose. I suck at Smash
I'll just
Bros.
pick Lucario, and I'll destroy you. I will destroy you with Lucario. It'll be over.
haven't
Not
played
if I
Smash
put
Bros.
you to
in
sleep.
years. Uh-oh. So
Okay,
I
Bill
have
Cosby.
Well,
I
if
have
I
a
lose, I'll
similar-
just pick Meta Knight, and then
Hold
they'll-
on. Jules is talking.
Meta Knight is banned.
Alright. So, yeah, he's banned. He's not allowed. Sword tornado piece of shit. Anyway, so I have a similar experience with this sort of thing. So y'all know how I'm a huge fanatic for Honor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That I have no idea if any of y'all have ever played.
I have.
But
I've just downloaded it. I just got it.
Oh, I
do
see.
you have it on the PlayStation?
What's up?
Do you have it on the PlayStation?
Yes.
Oh
I'd
no.
ask for your PlayStation number later. But anyway, so what I was gonna say was I'm in video games, and in that game in particular, I'm the kind of asshole that likes to main really low tier characters
hmm
just because. But there's this one ultra specific character called the Centurion, who
Mhm.
if you want to piss someone off, you pick the Centurion, because the Centurion is such a cocky asshole in every single thing that he does. Like all of the characters,
It's
they're
amazing.
all very subdued
hmm
in terms of personality and such. Like all the knights have helmets and stuff, and all the samurai, they're all very quiet and serious. And then the Vikings are a little emotional because they like to yell and scream a lot, but that's about all they do. But the Centurion, oh my god. So the Centurion, he's a knight, so he wears a helmet and stuff and armor, but he's got like sculpted abs on his armor, and these big iron pecs, and
Oh,
he has
yeah.
this big sculpted face on.
This is a perfect time for like whoever's gonna edit this and post it, just like edit in the picture.
Oh yeah,
we can
yeah.
get a
I can do that.
Here, let me see if I might be able to find a picture of this guy. But anyway, so this guy, he is such a ass. Like the only way I can describe him, because every time the way that he fights is he's a very grab based character, and he has this specific move that we call the Centurion cutscene combo, where he'll stab you, then punch you, and knock you on the ground and stab you again. and this whole process takes about 10 seconds. And it's basically just 10 seconds where you're completely locked out of the game. You can't do anything. You might as well just put your controller down because it's not going to do any good. And all of his executions are the most assholey things in the world because he's a Roman centurion. So what he'll do is he'll pin you down to the ground, and he'll do that thing that Roman emperors will do where it's the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And it'll force your character to do the thumbs up like a dirty coward, and then he'll just cut off your hand and stab you. And then what he does is he has these two specific emotes. And you know what? I have them on my phone because me and Mike did them in real life when I went over to his house.
Mhm.
He'll do these two specific poses, and the noises that he makes when he does them. On one pose, he'll go oh, and then on the other one he'll go oh, and he's the most emotive, assholey character ever designed. I love him.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
He's Mike's second best character.
I'm surprised that once I start playing this game, if I get good at it, you know who I'm gonna pick. Like,
Oh my god. Not to like force a subject, but like I just thought of this. Speaking of Smash Bros. Again, my friend Cole that I mentioned earlier about how I would play with him and he would play his pit normally.
Here's the poses, by the way.
This asshole, his troll character is
Mhm.
Link.
Oh,
Or, I
okay.
mean, he's got plenty of troll characters, but good God, is he horrible with Link. He somehow mastered Link's bomb special, and whenever he plays with that, he always goes to the nickname B-52 Bomber. I hate it so much because
that's amazing.
I'm not bad at Smash by any means. Like, I am not bad. But good God, does he piss me off with those bombs. Like, it's stupid how good he is.
I just have. We could actually make a whole podcast about me being a dick in different games. It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
My brothers are that way. They'll do anything if they're losing. And
So
I fight
honestly,
with honor.
coward.
So I get annoyed.
Like, genuinely, I try to get good at a game. Like, I really do. But if it gets bad, I'll tear it out if I have to. Like in Tekken, for example, I used to be
Lord.
Tekken. In like when I was in high school, that's when I got into Tekken. That was a problem because I would go to arcades, you know, like movie theater arcades.
Mm-hmm.
They have the thing, and then I have the Tekken machine in there. I would just like camp on the Tekken machine because I could just beat all the computers. I could just do it, loop it
Nice.
forever, and then people would come over and be like, "I want to play,"
Oh
and I would
no.
beat them. If it was little
And
kids,
then they would challenge you, and then you would destroy them.
and I got like
Ruin
kicked
the
out.
game for them. Make them never want to play it again.
Just crush their dreams.
Problem.
Well, this is working really well, and it's only the first time we've done this. Plus, we don't have we have only around half the core members.
It's working
Yeah.
well.
Just wait until we completely run out of things to talk about. Then things are going to start getting weird.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
doubt it. Like,
We'll
all
probably
it
do like
takes for us is like a conversation topic, and then we just go from there for like good 15 to 20 minutes. So I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, we've got this.
even so, we could just do like a news or like what's going on right now with anime or
What's
something.
going
I
on
don't know.
in the world right now?
Nothing I
Louisiana
wanna
woman
talk
with
about.
Down syndrome was forced to eat the ashes of her mother by 5 members of her family. Okay.
Oh god, that article made me so sad.
I'm amazed I
We've
recalled
got
that off the top of my
What
head. to
time
be
did we
honest.
start? That's one thing we're gonna have to start doing is marking down the start time so that we know when we need to end it.
Oh yeah.
All right. I am gonna have to go.
I mean,
Alright.
I guess we can go ahead and end it. We're at an hour and 20 minutes just about.
We should
I mean,
sign
we
off.
can keep
right?
going without him if you guys want to, but we can also end it. It's good either way.
We should probably end the
Well,
recording
I
at
gotta
this
get
point.
going. Farewell.
Well, this has been Room and Board. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. I think we're going to make this a weekly thing. We might make it bi-weekly. That's yet to be determined. But we'll see you guys next time.
Take care. Bye.
All right, and we can end the recording.